Fakti un viedokļi. Krustpunktā.
Studijā Aidis Tomsons. Šodien ir atkal tā reize, kad mūsu sarunai ir nepieciešama tulka palīdzība. Tāpēc paldies arī Aigai Vackalnei, kas mums tādās reizēs nāk talkā, lai nodrošinātu sinhrono tulkojumu. Arī pat intervija mums būs caur datoru attālināti, jo mans šīs dienas sarunas viesis atrodas Kijivā. Mēs šodien runāsim par žurnālista darbu karā, par to, ko tad nozīmē strādāt sabiedriskajā medijā laikā, kad tavai valstī uzbrūk ienaidnieks un grib tevi, tavu dzimteni, pakļaut un iznīcināt. Man šīs reizes Krustpunktā pirmdienas viesis ir Ukrainas sabiedriskā medija valdes priekšsēdētājs Mikola Černotickijs. Hello! Nice to hear and see you in our program.
Thank you for inviting.
To give us an idea, tell about a little about your public media. How big is it? How many people work?
Suspilne, we call Suspilne, it's in public in English. So it's an independent media outlet. We operate a TV channel, radio channel, digital outlet, etc. So we more than 3,600 employees work for our company across Ukraine, and we have branches in every regional. So we are one of the biggest network of the news journalists. And we are former is a state. It was state media, but after Revolution of Dignity was established at public broadcaster, and now we are here.
So I understand radio and TV in Ukraine are combined into one medium, yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One radio channel, one TV channel, or multiple?
No. We have 3 TV channel. So honest to say, 2 TV channel. It's like a first channel. It's what's responsible for the information and political issues. Second one is channel culture, and third one we have 24. We call it like third channel, but in real it's 24 regional channel.
Oh.
But we operated them as one. And we have one talk radio. It's a first channel. Second radio, it's for the young audience, radio programming. And third one, it's radio culture, obviously.
And are you heard in all the country, in all the Ukraine? Yeah. Also in the occupied areas?
It's a complicated question because we can know any data on this territory. But for example, in case of radio, we try to use all possible way to deliver news on the occupied territory. For example, we use more powerful engine and broadcasting focused on that, but it depends on the physical issues.
Okay. And you have also internet media?
Yeah. We have different issues like for the children, like YouTube channel Robux, we have huge number of subscribers in Telegram and Facebook, for example. We have more than 12 million subscribers together in all YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Viber, etc.
Okay. About language, which you work, do you also broadcast something in Russian?
No.
Why not?
In Ukraine, we have no any problem with people who talk in Ukrainian, and all Ukrainian understand Ukrainian. We have no any problem with that. So, and we have a special law what demand to broadcast and how to use Ukrainian language in public life. But obviously, in private conversation, we can use whatever you want. Chinese, English, Russian, or French, up to you.
It has always been so. It means, did you broadcast in Russian before?
No, from 2014, we broadcast only in Ukrainian. And obviously, we have some part of conversation. For example, in some program where the Russian-speaking guest use Russian language, but it's not was often. And now from the very beginning, when we established public broadcaster, we use only Ukrainian. And we have duty to make some program for the national minority. So some program we use in Hungarian, sorry.
It's okay.
For Hungarian, for the Germanian, for the Romanian, using Romanian language, but not in Russian.
But not in Russian.
Because Russia, in our case, it's not minority.
And it is what?
It's aggressor, and it's country what occupy Ukraine, part of Ukraine, and occupy Ukraine during for Soviet Union time, for example, and the same like Baltic country.
Okay. If we speak about attitude, I think about people. What is the general attitude towards the Russian language in Ukrainian society?
I think we have no any discussion about role some languages. It's all with issue always used politician before, but now we have absolutely consensus about role Ukrainian as a state language, and Russian you can use in your private conversation. We have no any discussion about that.
Because we also you didn't want to speak Russian today, for example, in this interview. Otherwise, I understand you know it very well, yes? But you choose English better. In Latvia, there is discussion about whether language or culture can be equated with aggression brought by the war. What do you think about it?
So I time to time talk with our colleague from the public broadcaster in Latvia, Estonia, about use Russian language. And my position, I think it doesn't work if you would like to push them information. They continue with people continue consume Russian propaganda in the different way from the other source, not, for example, like satellite from Russia Today or something like that, or through the Facebook. So you need to understand what this language is a question or an issue of national security. So I think in Ukraine, when the war started, there are many people who shift from the Russia to Ukrainian, and it was position. But I think we need to more protect Ukrainian language from the very beginning when we got independence.
You know, there in our radio station, there is Latvian. In Latvia, there is a Russian channel.
Yeah.
Do you think we have to stop it?
I don't know, because I'm not running your company. Really.
Of course, yeah. But what would be your advice for us?
I think you need to be very careful with that. Mm-hmm. And you need to understand how they consume, who is your listener, and how it's work, and how real impact on this. So there are a big number of data what you need to make decision. So I can give you a simple question, yes or no, because I'm not in your shoes now.
Of course.
I can. Yeah. I can speak only for my company, and we broadcast only in Ukrainian, and we have no any issues or critics, for example, about that.
There are many discussions in Latvia too about this, and so we are in the middle of these discussions now. That's the reason why I am asking you, what would you suggest for us?
I think you need to be very careful with that, really.
But in Latvia, for example, it is possible to watch also Ukrainian TV channel Freedom, which broadcasts in Russian. So there are media and journalists in Ukraine who this.
It's media what works only for the abroad. They can't broadcast inside Ukraine. Now, why they use Russian? So official version is they try to has impact on the good Russian who lives in Russia Federation, and how this efficiently, no idea really. And in my opinion, maybe better to make good quality content in English or French or Spanish languages, because honestly say, I can't believe some inside movement in Russia in this time, what can destroy this regime of Putin. So, but Ukrainian government use this model and launch this broadcast in Russia. So, okay.
Okay, so you are skeptical about this, yes?
A little bit, yeah.
But are many Russians in Ukraine who do not know Ukrainian?
I will be wondered if I know one, for example.
Yeah?
Yeah, right. So really, I spent 70 years in the city Sumy. It's near, in 40 kilometers near the Russia border, for example, in the northeast of Ukraine. It absolutely was Russian-speaking city, but all citizens understand Ukrainian. Absolutely.
Because they are similar languages, maybe?
Because they are Ukrainian.
Yeah. You know that in Latvia there are people who don't know Latvian, although they live here for all their life.
Yeah, but they have conditions for what they can live in Latvia and don't use Latvian. But I think if you live in country, you need to know their language. It's absolutely normal.
Of course. Okay, now about the war. At what point did you realize that there was going to be a full scale of invasion? Can you remember? Because we here in Latvia, many of us could only believe it few days before that. What about you?
First of all, we are started to prepare maybe 3 or 4 months before the war started. We developed a different scenario how we will work through in these circumstances. But I remember what I was wake up from the call of my head of news, and she said, war is started. And in 40 minutes, I think I have been on our headquarters, and we started to broadcast and started to work. So it was absolutely uncertainty and absolutely ununderstandable situation, but we just focused on our job. 2 days after that, we are relocated in Lviv, where we are prepared reserve center, and we worked from here maybe more than 2 months or something like that, and we came back to Kyiv in middle of May, and so and it's a complicated part of our life, and especially when the part of Ukraine, like a big city like Kharkiv, like Chernihiv, like Sumy was surrounded, and you need to have some connection with your team here and how we develop it. So it's a little bit complicated, but I'm very proud my team in this regional, what they are hero. And on other case, it's our team, part of our team in Kherson spent all occupied period in Kherson. And we said them, guys, you don't need to give us any information, just save your life. But some of them continue gives information to our team, and we publish it, and it's fantastic.
So, if we speak about the mood in the day when the war has started, so how would you characterize it?
Honestly say, there are many people who didn't believe what it's happened. but it happens. And you can develop different scenario. You can prepare what you want, but when it happens, you have no sure how to do something in correct way. So, but we follow our scenario and focus on it. And I think it's give us this chance to survive during this period as company continue working and especially follow, especially in crisis time, in time of war, especially the role of public broadcaster were high important. And we are, I think we are absolutely completely follow our mission.
Were there people who quit and run away?
We have only one case in Kherson, one traitor who it was engineer, as I remember correctly. But in other way, no. We have cases, for example, when the people, first of all, started to save and evacuated their family. It's true, but in next days they come back to their workplace. But first of all, they choose their family, and it's logical.
Yeah, of course. I'm asking it because I'm interested in. Did you have to reassess which person is which, who can be trusted, who can't?
All people who worked for us, they checked, honestly say, and we are developed trust in our company as the main values. So it's very sensitive for us in this way. So if we have lack of trust inside our company, how we can follow our mission as public broadcaster? I can imagine.
But I understand you were prepared that radio and television would be taken over in Kyiv, yes? It was the reason why you moved to Lviv. Yeah. But if we speak about next, what would happen if Russia took all of the Ukraine and subjugated you too?
If the Russia captured Kyiv, we can talk right now, for example. It's just simply answer in this way. But I can't imagine, and I think what our army strong enough and can resist efficiently and don't give any chance to Russia occupy
all the country. Yes.
All the country, absolutely. I can't imagine it.
So you don't need a plan for work, for example, from abroad, such as Poland, for example.
On the very beginning, we have this option from our colleague from the Poland. Mm-hmm. But now for us, more important to, for example, be ready to shift in case of some technical attack or some other attack our broadcasting from the other country, but as temporary case, for example. And I hope we have good gathering with the Baltic public broadcaster, with the Nordic public broadcaster, and I think together we can help each other in different cases, in case of broadcasting and shift signal from the different country in this case. So it's not about organizing production and broadcasting from abroad. It's just case for avoid some attack. Okay. But for example, we understand how build studio in shelter and how develop this issue. So it's a new skill what we have now. And my pleasure, what I can share this knowledge with our colleague from Estonia, from Lithuania, from Latvia, from Finland, Sweden, whatever. So, and what I understand correctly, it's better be prepared than no.
If you speak not about your media just, but about journalists at all, are there also traitors among journalists who have given some news to occupiers, have cooperated with them?
It's complicated because we have some cases when before the war was forbidden some channel in Ukraine. It was channel who owner by Medvedchuk. It's a big friend of Putin, and its channel was forbidden. And it's totally not about freedom of speech. It was about national security because it's absolutely pro-Russian propaganda channel. And for example, we don't appoint former journalists who was worked for this channel in our company. Okay. So it's impossible for us as public broadcaster to have these guys in our staff.
About your mission, how do you work now? How would you define what is the purpose of your work mission?
Our mission sounds like defense freedoms in Ukraine. So we are. It was defined before when it was established, and we just follow. For us, first of all, we are continue informing. We are free in defined topic what we would like to broadcast. For us, very important to unite national. For us, very important give true, but we understand some, for example, restriction like military restriction, and we are understand it. For example, we can show a place where was bombed in next 3 hours because a Russian can't bombed second time. So it's very important. So, but time to time they use this tactic or double overlap. For example, in summer in Zaporizhia, it was when they bombed one time. When the journalist, policeman, emergency service came on this place, they bombed second time. So we understand with restriction. We understand some other restriction, but in the same time, we need to do our job, and we have time to time some discussion. For example, how we can achieve frontline, etc. Because according to rules from the military defense. Minister of Defense, for example, on the front line, you can work only with press officer from the army, but number of press officer is less than journalist, and we have some like bottleneck in this case. But it's all discussion.
Okay, you have your own frontline journalists, yes?
Yeah. We have.
Have any also died?
No.
Nice.
No, we have all free people, free employees was died, but all of them as soldiers.
Okay, but in terms of information, do you also rely on what is supplied by official bodies, given by Ministry of Defense or so on?
Yeah, we works as follow journalist standard, and for us. Important opinion of Minister of Defense, obviously, but in the same time for us important opinion soldiers on the front line or some respect. So honestly, we understand what in Ukraine now war, and we need some restriction in this way. But for example, in a case of some political discussion, we obviously need to give 2 or 3 opinion. For example, in case of some law, what we need to the entrance in EU. Mm-hmm. When it's discussion, it's in this case, it's absolutely normal.
Okay. But we use the term war censorship. Do you use it?
I can't say what we have censorship in Ukraine, really. Because according to law, it could be, but we have not. And I can imagine how it's possible because, for example, in case of media landscape now, TV and radio, it's not main way to deliver in news. Digital is absolutely huge in this case. And for example, in Ukraine, from the war started, we have this research what the people sheet their way of consumption use, and on the first place we have Telegram, and on second place we have Facebook and YouTube, and on the third place TV and fourth radio. So it's absolutely how you can. I can imagine how it could be possible to manage it to censorship. So it's impossible.
Okay. Do you have also your Telegram channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do with this? What you put?
It's good question about background, because we know all know background of the Telegram platform. But what we understand, for example, among 100 the most popular Telegram channel, only 8 owned by real media. Other is some influencer or anonymous Telegram channel. But we understand as public broadcaster, we need to be here to give people chance to consume verified news. But obviously, in case of if government and state define what it's in case of national security, they decline the Telegram. Okay, we shift to the other platform. We are okay with that. So it's a tricky question in this way.
Okay. And one more question about journalism. Are there conflicts with the official bodies, for example, about what you are broadcasting?
Time to time, we have some interesting discussion.
Yeah. What is the result?
We time to time we try to explain our logic. So we are explaining what we need to do our job, and your job. We need to respect each other in this case. So, but finally, we are broadcast what we define, and that's all.
Okay, you already mentioned there are many popular internet media, bloggers in Ukraine. You have people like Dmitry Gordon. Aristovich is a peculiar figure. What do you think about them?
It's complicated the same because this term is influencer, who has impact on society and who has number, but in the same time, it's not media. And it's a big challenge for, I think, a regulator how to manage it. And I think it's not only for Ukraine, some specific term. I think in the same is for your country. In this case, we need our role as public broadcaster more higher, because we are responsible for the verified information for our citizen. In case of influencers, they are not. So we need to explain, and I think not only we, but it's maybe in system of education about media literacy, etc. Whatever. So we can't refuse people to consume different influencers, but we need to explain what if you would like to check information. Okay, let's go to the public broadcaster.
Just for interest, do you have also some cooperation with them, or it is just competition?
I can say what we have some competition with some bloggers. We have cooperation, especially in who has some experience in producing children content, for example. So we try to use, but we are very careful with that because for us, very important reputation of person who cooperate with us.
You sometimes maybe invite them as guests in your programs?
Yeah. It's.
But isn't it that they are more popular and diminish your importance?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a different way, obviously. So it's like you are trying to compare one very famous star with the institution. So it's a difference.
Okay.
I think what institution more important in this case because it's a long-term strategy.
And if we talk about cooperation with other international media, do they give also you any support?
Yeah, we have huge support from our colleagues from the public broadcaster from the different countries. I mentioned before it's Estonian, Latvian, Lithuanian public broadcasters. It's Sweden radio and TV. It's Yul from Finland. It's ARD from Germany. BBC. So there are many who support us, and I'm highly appreciated. It was for us very important, especially in the very beginning. And I need to say thank you, especially our Latvian colleague, and it's called in English Council of Public Media. Yeah. So they gave us huge help and huge support last year, and we have generator and other equipment what give us opportunity to keep working during the blackout in winter. So it's a really huge support, and I thought it's fantastic. So I need to thank you, Yannis Sintis, who was head on this time. So.
Okay. I will ask a little bit later about this blackout, but if we speak about the financial situation of your media, what is it?
From the very beginning, when we, from 2017, according to Ukrainian law, we have to have budget according to formula 0.2% of previous state budget of the previous year. Mm-hmm. But no one government gives us all money. So it's true. But now we understand what state budget increase for the military issues, and we need to give more other number in this way. So now we have project. Now we have for this year 1.8 billion hryvnia. It's in euro. I try to. It's about 40 million euro for all our company. For the next year, it's about 40. We have project of law, what now in the parliament, so we are waiting for the applied. But for the project of the next budget, it's 45 or 46 million euro. So totally, it's not enough for development, but it's enough to survive in this case. We understand. And we are trying to join different donors from EU, from the US, etc. And so in this way, we solve our problem.
Okay. I will ask about blackout, but first starting with, I mentioned already Gordon. He has said that the war may end in the next few months. He says it on YouTube. Even this year. Yeah. Just asking what you think about. I want to speak now about the war at all, and I can imagine that maybe the society has tired from the war, isn't it?
Yes, society is tired. It's true because it's third year, but and especially when Russia used propaganda and manipulation on potential fault lines in society. So yes, it's true, but I can't comment any prediction about when the war finished because I am not expert in this topic. Sorry. So if someone from the other
Of
expert
course.
can talk about, so I can't.
Of course, but you also have some hope when it can happen.
Yes, but hope it's I can't. Hope. It's not. It's just inside you, but you can share your hope as expert opinion. So I really will be happy what as soon as possible war will finish, but it's just hope.
I'm asking this because Russia seems to want to make the mood of your society, Ukrainians, change when they are ready to give up the territories just to end the war. Isn't that possible?
I can imagine what about give up, and I can imagine about change territory.
Why?
I can't. Sorry.
And what the Ukrainians think about these talks with Russia to end the war? We hear quite much about this last months.
It's really complicated because we understand what all war will finish in negotiation, but we need to condition of this negotiation. So, do we ready to talk? I don't know. As our authorities said, they organized a second summit of peace, and they thinking to invite Russia in this. So it could be, but stop Ukraine, stop war in Ukraine just easy. Just Russia need just take their army out from the Ukraine. That's all.
You think that your society is ready to continue as long as it is necessary for years, if it is necessary?
I have no. I can't talk about it because I have no any data. So, but we resist, and you remember what before the war, some analytics said what Ukraine will fall in 3 days.
Yeah.
So I can talk in behalf of society in this case. So.
How will you cope in the winter when the energy sector is so devastated?
We defined 3 different scenarios this winter. How we will work in case of interrupt electricity, how we producing, how we delivering, how we use different platform. For example, if we have long interruption, we understand what a radio is more important in this way because it's more cheaper in production and more cheaper in consumption. We're thinking about how it works in digital, in TV. So we develop it and we follow for this scenario and prepare this. So we'll see how it will be in winter, but we try to do all the best from our side.
How flexible are you if something happens, for example, electricity is not for several days, for example. You can so fast to change something in your program, broadcasting?
Yeah. We are very flexible in this way. So for us, it's not problem. It's a really complicated scheme because, for example, for delivery content, it's depends not only from our side. For example, we have some mobile operator for how they cover internet in this case. and connection in this case. We have broadcasting, transmitting company with engine and how they. So it's a complicated environment, but we need to be ready, be flexible, and shift from one platform to another, and use all possible way to deliver in use for our consumptors.
About the future, what do you think the public media will be like after the war? What will change in your job?
I think it's still the same, but I hope it's really will be more easy than now. Honestly say, yes, public broadcaster has crucial role in a democratic system, and we need to keep follow our mission and our job, and our journalists need to continue work on important for society topics. So
we all need optimistic view in the future. How do you see the future of Ukraine in general, I think?
In this state, I can my hope, and my hope is a part of EU and part of NATO, especially important at this time. And I think we can, Ukraine can give EU, there are many knowledge and new skills what we have now. And yes, we really could be have important role in EU. So, and I hope Ukraine is a strong, peaceful country, part of the EU family.
About the skills and knowledge you mentioned, what would you say already now? What lessons we, Latvia, can learn from you?
Time to time I talk with our colleague and on different meetings in European Broadcasting Union, and there are many talking about how work with uncertainty. So I think what the Ukrainian know better how works under uncertainty, because no one has so huge experience working every day in uncertainty. So we can with skills we have only in our country. So we think what we will happy to share with our colleague.
You know, currently the process of unification of public media is underway in Latvia because we have separate radio and TV till now. Just with your experience, maybe from a security point of view, is the main thing that we should consider, maybe definitely implement?
Honestly, say, first of all, you need to both companies need to be ready to do it. And inside, for example, when we united, we have different discussion inside company, because radio has one culture, TV has other culture, and always radio warning what it could be domination of TV in this way. But now we shift our mind in other way. For example, we are thinking what the TV, radio, it's a just platform. We need to focus on the product. And obviously radio and TV and digital has some special issues for their distribution. And we need to account it. But for example, we have united newsroom for what producing news for TV, radio, and digital, and they are happy and they are efficient. So it's really complicated to unite different company. But if you will do it in right way, it gives synergy both team.
Is there anything you don't think we should expect from this combination?
It depends from your teams, not from us.
So that's right. Yeah.
So,
But maybe we are too high expectations for somebody.
but we can give some advice for the management team how it will be in a better way, but it's really I understand your question. It's really very sensitive this process. So, but in right way, it could be give synergy.
Especially before the war or before this 2022, we used to hear a lot about the influence of oligarchs in the Ukrainian media too. What is the situation now?
They have no influence.
Not
anymore.
at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. How it was possible?
So, because they are on a second role now, government is more influence in this case, and you know the situation. In this case, it's most influence, and you know the situation with the Teleton, what we have now, what's 5 broadcasters together, and and government started to spend money to the private media. So some oligarchs in jail, some abroad. So they have no any so big influence like before.
Okay. And what if we speak about situation with the fight against corruption in Ukraine? How big it is a problem still?
We talk about, for example, we as media, we always inform about case of corruption because it's our duty, and corruption is the same enemy like Russia, for example. But yes, from time to time we have some scandal, but they solve it, and I can say it's more or less or something like that because I have no data for that, and it's better to talk about it with institutions who fight against it, and maybe journalists who has some specialization in this way. So it's I think it's more correct.
Yeah. You know, this is a topic when we speak about path to EU, because it was seen from this side as a big problem in Ukraine too. So you say that you are on the right way and it shouldn't be a problem or obstacle to your way to EU?
Come again, please. I don't understand.
I think corruption was seen from this side as a big obstacle or big problem for Ukraine to get in your way to EU, to European Union. You think it is not anymore?
I think we have good step in right way to fight against corruption. It's really because something changes, like an institution role, especially like anti-corruption bureau, anti-corruption court, specialized court. At the same time, society don't tolerate high-level corruption. Yes, we need to work so some low-level corruption, but for the high-level corruption, they are not tolerate. And for example, how reforming now some supplier for the army, etc. So it's a steps for the right way. Yes, it's not easy. Yes, we have some scandal, but I think we will we goes on the right way to the in the war against corruption.
Okay, we have a couple minutes yet. Is Ukraine also interested in what is happening in other places, for example, in Israel?
Yes, we cover the same. We understand what it's. We need to do it, but you know, I think the most popular and interesting topic in Ukraine, it's the US election, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Are there also concerns in Ukraine about the election of Donald Trump?
obviously, you're always concerned if you have no any in your ununderstandable situation. So it's uncertainty. So all Ukraine follows the U.S. election. It's true.
Okay. And can you feel also in Ukraine internal political tension? I don't know. Political struggles in Ukraine?
Not struggles, but tension, yes. I think tension. We have some tension, some political discussion we have inside.
Yeah. And which topics are the most problematic?
Yes, it's different way from economic, especially like budget process now, or some other issues, but it's normal. It's democracy.
That's right. Yeah. What do you think about of President Zelensky? How do you see his political future? Because there was no election, as you know. You can't say about this.
Yeah. I can't predict about that. Yeah. So
I think how much this political tension, as you said, can impact the politics or what you are doing also in your country.
More or less, really, but what is the main problem of this tension? It's time to time it's used by Russian propaganda, and they try to divide society. So obviously, all political tension about dividing, not about united. So. But I hope our politician has enough wisdom to find right solution in different tension, discussion, etc. It's my hope.
Yeah. And the last question about Russian propaganda: is it still effective in Ukraine? Do you think? How do you think?
I think it's less effective because many people, but they try to find other way, especially through the social media, through the TikTok, Telegram, etc. So they keep doing propaganda on Ukrainian, but I think Ukrainian become more smarter in this way.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving us your time.
Thank you for your time.
Yes. Ukrainas sabiedriskā medija valdes priekšsēdētājs Mikola Černotickijs tātad bija mūsu šīs dienas sarunas viesis. Protams, sirsnīgs paldies arī mūsu tulcei, Aigai Vatskalnei, kas tad palīdzēja jums latviski dzirdēt to, ko Černotickij kungs mums šeit saka. Vēl beigās par tālāko. Es droši vien arī pasacīšu savukārt, ja jums ir ērtāk klausīties bez tulka palīdzības, to, ko mēs mēģinājām angļu valodā runāt, tad izmantojiet iespēju vēlāk. Tas noteikti būs arī pieejams sociālos tīklos. Es domāju, tās norādes būs redzams, tad jūs varēsiet klausīties mūsu sarunu arī angļu valodā. Savukārt, par rītdienu runājot, kolēģi Mārija Ansona skaidros, kādas ir iespējas mazināt tēriņus valsts pārvaldē. Kā mēs esam dzirdējuši, ministru prezidenti sacīs, ka tiks ietaupīti 5%. Jautājums, protams, ko tie nozīmē, uz kā rēķina tas tiks darīts, vai tiek mazināts arī darbinieku skaits ministrijās, vai runa vispār ir tikai par ministrijām, vai arī par publisko sektoru kopumā. Tad rīt lūkosim rast kādu skaidrību par šo. Bet Krustpunktā gan šodien izskan, producentu raidījumam ir Revija Junāna, studijā sarunu vadīju es, Aidis Tomsons.
Fakti un viedokļi. Krustpunktā.